So the New York Giants fell to Los Angeles Rams 17-9 on Sunday. Bad offensive performance once again from the Giants. Their defense played actually very well. I'll get into that, but I'll start with the Giants' offense, and I'll start with Daniel Jones. So Daniel Jones averaged 5.3 yards per attempt on Sunday. That's not going to get it done. He didn't throw a touchdown pass. Hasn't thrown a touchdown pass since week 1. For the last 3 games, he's had 6 yards per attempt or less in each of those 3 games. It's been bad. Like third-string quarterback kind of bad for Daniel Jones. And look, you can make 2 arguments here. Right? You can make 2 legitimate arguments that I think are fair. One, you can say he's not getting any help, which he's not. Bad offensive line. You look at the Giants' offensive line in the first half. 9 pressures. 9 pressures on 17 dropbacks in the first half. Okay? That's not good. They allowed 5 sacks in total. And I know people are going to say, well, they played better in their second half. Yeah, they played better in the second half compared to how bad they were in the first half, especially really early on in the game in the first half. Yeah, compared to that, yes, they played better, but that doesn't mean they played good, right? That's what people need to understand here is, okay, improvement doesn't always mean good. It just means you improved on something that was potentially really, really bad. And for the Giants' offensive line, it was really, really bad. So just because they improved, it doesn't mean that they played well. It just means that they were a little bit better than horrific. So the offensive line, not good. The receivers, just not making plays, not a lot of yards after the catch, just very limited playmaking ability in general. So you can make that case he's getting no help. But you can also make the case that, okay, he's still not performing. He's not even an average quarterback at the moment. And if there's a quarterback in the upcoming draft that they feel has a higher upside than Daniel Jones, a lot of people think that they should go ahead and take that quarterback, and that's fair enough, right? That's a fair argument. You can say both things. Both things can be true, that he's not getting much help, but that he's also not playing very well, and that there could be another quarterback in the upcoming draft that is better and has a higher upside. So it's not looking good for Daniel Jones. Like I said, he's not even an average quarterback at this point, right? The way he's performing, his numbers, it's a very limited offense. No Giants pass catcher had more than 48 yards receiving versus the Rams. Evan Ingram had 10 targets, 6 receptions, but he averaged 5.8 yards per reception, which is virtually nothing, right? Plays are not being made there, clearly. Just a very limited offense. 9 points, no touchdowns at all. A game-ending interception at the end. It looked like he could have ran it and got some yards. Instead, he kind of forces a throw. Wasn't a good throw. Great catch on the interception. But it's just like, those are the kind of plays that have really, obviously the turnovers, but it's just like a play like that. The Giants were so close to at least potentially tying the game at the end, and you throw an interception. That's what a lot of people are talking about when it comes to the questions of Daniel Jones being the future franchise quarterback of the Giants. You also look at Andrew Thomas. I just did a video on Andrew Thomas, a video that a lot of people didn't like because a lot of people thought Andrew Thomas should have started day 1 at left tackle, and he was going to be way better than Nate Solder. And right now, Andrew Thomas is not looking so great. He's just not. And I don't mean to continue to bring up how poor he's playing. I'm not trying to do it because I think he's a bad player and he's going to be bad. I think he will get better as a player, and I don't think it was a bad draft pick. But he allowed 4 pressures on Sunday. He allowed a sack. Okay, he came into the game with 13 pressures, which was second in the league according to Pro Football Focus. His pass block win rate ranked 149th coming into the game among offensive linemen. So he's not playing well. It's just, it's as bad of a start as you can possibly have if you're the Giants. Okay, so let's move on to the Giants defense. They were outstanding on Sunday. They allowed 17 points to the 3rd best offense in the league according to expected points added, right? Offensive EPA. The 3rd best team in the league. Best team in terms of yards after catch per reception. And they allowed 17 points. Jared Goff, 6.3 yards per attempt. He entered Sunday's game averaging 9.6 yards per attempt. So he was on fire. And the Giants did a really good job on the road, allowing 17 points. Ryan Lewis, the corner, really stood out, played well. Blake Martinez all over the field making tackles. He led the Giants in tackles with 13. He's been a really nice add for Dave Gettleman. He's been a really nice player so far for the Giants. He's a tackling machine. Dexter Lawrence also stood out. Kyler Fackrell had a sack, his 2nd sack of the season. Played the run specifically well on one play that I remember really set the edge, did a really good job. I'm impressed with Patrick Graham. No preseason, his first year as Giants defensive coordinator, and so far, before week 3, right, they had a tough game against the 49ers, specifically the second half, but they entered week 3 7th in defensive DVOA, defense adjusted value over average. So they were really good entering week 3. They had a tough second half against the Niners, but they were back to being really good this week. So props to Patrick Graham and his defense. If the Giants were an average offense, the Giants probably could be like 2-2 right now. Their defense has played fairly well. Dave Gettleman put together a good group, and they're being coached up very well.